guys, it's Miss Harper here coming to you live from the Millennium Falcon. I know, right? That's so crazy. But we're here for another installment of our mini lessons on 6.rp.3c, which is percent of a number. Now we're going to be using percent proportion, and I'm going to put a graphic up here in a minute to let you see what that looks like and just remind you. But make sure you reference our PowerPoint for your interactive notebook pages. We are going to be still in our Pearson Envision Math workbook. So if you're ready, here we go. All right, guys. So we are on page number 6 in your Mississippi College and Career Readiness Standards practice for your Pearson workbook. So we're going to start with question number 1. So it says there are 1 chef, 7 assistant chefs, 5 waiters, 8 servers, and 1 host working at Hannah's restaurant. What percentage of the workers are assistant chefs? And round to the nearest whole percent. So if we're working with percentage and they're asking us for a percentage, we're going to use our percent proportion. Part over whole is equal to percent over 100. So they're asking us for the percent of workers that are assistant chefs. So that means that we are wanting to know we have to know the part that are assistant chefs. So if you go back and look, we have 7 assistant chefs, so that's going to be our part. The whole is going to be how many total people are working at Hannah's restaurant. So that means we have to add up all of those people. So 1 chef plus 7 assistant chefs plus 5 waiters plus 8 servers plus 1 host gives us a total of 22 people that work there. Now we're wanting to turn that part to whole ratio into a percentage. So we're going to make it equal to percent over 100. Now, in order to figure this out, we're going to have to cross multiply and divide. So when I say cross multiply, what I'm saying is 7 times 100 gives us 700. We're going to keep our equal sign. And our unknown percent times 200. Now, if we have something that's unknown, we're going to place a variable in for that value. And I'm going to use x as our variable for our percent. So x times 22 gives us 22x. Now, according to percent proportion, I'm always going to divide by the number with x. So I'm going to divide by 22. Now, 22 divided by 22 is obviously 1. So that gives us x over here by itself. And 700 divided by 22 gives us this really weird decimal number. It's 31.8181, and that repeats. Now, according to our instructions in the question, it says to round to the nearest whole percent. So that means we're going to look at this decimal 8 to tell us what to do with that 1. Well, 8 tells 1 to go up. So our percent here is going to be equal to 32%. All right, guys, so we're moving on to question number 3 on page number 6. We're still working with 6.rp.3c. But we're going to look at it presented in a little different way. So number 3 says Jamal's basketball team won 62.5% of their games this season. If the team played 48 games this season, how many games did they win? So we're still using percent proportion. That part over whole is equal to percent over 100 ratio, but they've just given us different parts of that ratio or that proportion in this question. So it says Jamal's team won 62.5% of their games. So that's our percent. Automatically we have that. We know that percent goes over 100. So we can go ahead and put that down as 62.5% over 100. Now, it says the team played 48 games. Now, did it say they won 48 games or just played 48 games? Well, they played 48 games, so that is the whole in our proportion. So we're looking for how many games they actually won. So that's going to be our variable. I'm going to place an X there. So per usual, we're going to cross multiply and then divide. So X times 100 gives me 100X. And then 48 times 62.5 gives us 3,000. And we're going to divide by the number with X. So X is here, so divide by 100, divide by 100. 100 divided by 100 obviously cancels out and leaves us with X. And 3,000 divided by 100 equals 30. So they actually won 30 games. All right, guys, moving on to the final question that we're going to look at in today's video. It's question number 5. It says a gardener needs to plant 60 plants. In 2 hours, he has planted 25% of the plants. How many plants does he have left to plant? That's a lot of plants. So we're still going to use percent proportion, part over whole equals percent over 100, but this question is unique in that it's 2 parts. So not only do we have to complete the percent proportion, but then we're also going to have to subtract at the end. So it says a gardener needs to plant a total of 60 plants. So if we're looking at our part to whole ratio, our part to whole, we're going to say that 60 is the whole. And it says he has planted 25% of those plants. So 25% over 100. And we're trying to figure out exactly how many plants he has planted so far. That is what this X equals. So cross multiply and divide. 100 times X gives me 100X. And that's equal to 60 times 25, which is 1,500. Now divide by the number with X. So we're going to divide by 100. Our 100s cancel each other out, leaves us with X. And 1,500 divided by 100 gives us 15. Now, this question is misleading because it makes us believe that 15 is the answer when it's not. It says the gardener has planted 25% of the 60 plants that he needed to plant. Well, that means that he's planted 15. But the question says, how many plants does he have left to plant? So that means we've got an additional piece to this. So he started with 60. He's planted 15 so far. So that means that he actually has 45 plants left to plant. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you have any other questions, you can comment below or get in touch with your teacher. Thanks. Bye.